And hello everybody, welcome back to the channel guys, hope you're all well. Before we do get into today's video, as always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. So Tuesday guys, hope all you are still smiling from of course the weekend's results, as Rangers are sitting pretty at the top of the Scottish Premiership. Of course there's been a lot in the fallout, there's been a lot of fans. I hope you enjoyed all of the sort of fan meltdowns that have been coming out over the last couple of days. And I'm sure there's going to be more as the sort of days go on. But today, guys, we've actually got one of the Celtic pundits who actually went into a bit of a meltdown. We'll be discussing that in today's video. We're also going over all the latest Rangers news from the last 24 hours. But let's start, of course, with the news yesterday that Michael Beale was sacked from Sunderland. Sacked, or sometime I think Sky Sports changed the wording to left Sunderland. But yeah, after 12 games, 4 wins, Michael Beale has left his second club of the season. Now I don't really know if there's any way back for him back into football management really, but has managed to bollock it up quite a lot, and yeah, third job and 2 clubs so far this season and been dismissed after stinking the place out. So let's be serious. So I don't know what his plan is next, nor do I really care too much. But he'll be likely going back to be an assistant. He'll probably be out and out Etafag at some point to try and help out with Steven Gerrard, as they're sort of struggling at this moment in time. But yeah, probably going back to the sort of drawing board with his career. But yeah, stated there, sacked, left Sunderland, whatever, after 12 games, which is very, very interesting indeed. Now let's get to the big man. Yes, Frank McAvenny. Now usually this guy is an absolute clown. He's played for Celtic, I think, a few years back, 20 odd years ago. And yeah, basically insisted that Rangers are not a good team, despite Philippe Clement's side leapfrogging Celtic at the top of the Premiership. Look, let's just listen to what this Muppet has to say. But this is what he had to say with regards to it, while sort of Celtic supporters are currently having a meltdown as well this weekend. He told PLZ Soccer, Rangers will be the favourites because of the bookies. But let's be honest, Rangers are not in any great shape. They're not a good team, but they're winning games. Clement made it simple. They're getting up the park, they're feeding off scraps, and they're getting wins. Results is something Celtic don't do now. I think there is still a lot of points to be dropped. I hope they can turn it around. It's a massive month coming up. On the draw with Kilmarnock, he added, it was awful. It was a bad watch. Most of the Celtic support would admit that, and I think most of the Celtic players would admit that too. It's not even a bad day at the office. It's been a couple of weeks now. We've had a couple of injuries. You're talking Rio Atate, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Alistair Johnston. 3 players shouldn't make the team play that bad, but the players coming in obviously aren't good enough, or they haven't hit the ground running. Who's to say they might not be good enough? I think it's still very early. We can turn it around, but performances like that are not going to please the fans, and they're not going to be pleasing the manager. I wouldn't think. You can blame the board, you can blame the manager, whatever, but the bottom line for me is that the players aren't good enough. The players that were on the park, Kilmarnock were not scared of Celtic coming to Celtic Park. People were scared to come here and play, but they're not anymore. I'm sorry to say, but it's bang average players. As stated, guys, usually Frank McAvenny has absolutely no clue what he's talking about with football. You see some of his articles sometimes, and as I stated, I can't believe the guy's a professional, because some of his opinions and some of his snippets that you kind of hear in the media makes it sound like the guy's never watched a game of football in his life. But yeah, stated as he goes on to say that, Frank McAvenny, that yeah, we're not good, and as I said, we're not a good side and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, very, very sour sort of pundit, so is Frank McAvenny. But yeah, don't take no notice on him, but it's good to see that he's in some sort of a meltdown after the weekend's escapade. So yeah, very, very interesting indeed on that regard. Now in other news, guys, James Tavernier has issued a warning to the Rangers teammates as Rangers are at the top of the table. Yes, this is what he had to say about us after he hit the 120 goal mark. It's obviously a great achievement. I never managed I could reach it when I joined Rangers, as I had only 8 or 9 goals before, but I want to keep helping the team and keep pushing myself. I will see where it ends and when I eventually hang up my boots one day. There's always a pressure no matter what stage you're at in the season, even halfway through it. I said after drawing against Aberdeen away that there were plenty of games left and we just have to focus on ourselves. We've got great momentum at the minute and everyone in the team is chipping in with performances. I thought Dio on his first start to a great goal, so hats off to him, and he's been a real asset so far. So is Oscar Cortez and so is Fabio Silva. Dujon Sterling has also came on and made a real impact down that right hand side, so I'm delighted for the squad with the way we're heading. But we can always improve, and we'll continue to ask ourselves to do that. We just need to continue focusing on the next game and go from there. I was delighted with the 3 points and we got on Sunday, as well as the clean sheet. They didn't have a shot on goal, which is the most important thing, but we've always concentrated on each individual game as they come and getting the 3 points. We've got to fully focus on that. There are plenty of games left to play. We need to continue, not be complacent. We need to keep demanding, because there is still a long way to go in the competition we are in, and we just want to make our fans happy and ourselves happy with our performances. As stated, guys, few Scottish football fans could have envisaged Rangers being top of the table in February after they lost 3-1 at home to Aberdeen at the end of September to fall 7 points behind Celtic. However, Tavernier went on to speak about that and the impact of the manager's arrival. He said, "It was obviously so early in the season and there were so many games left to play, so many points to play for. We always had belief in our team, in the players that we have, but the gaffer came in and raised the standards. We had to fully focus on each game and keep chipping away, only worrying about ourselves. We can only affect ourselves, and I think we've really been good, but as I say, we just need to keep this momentum going. It's a great place for the fans and the clubs. We feed off our performances and how well we are doing and playing as a team. Defensively, not letting teams get a shot on target against us, that's what we've aimed for. We want clean sheets, and the variety of chances we are creating now is really pleasing. We are always asking questions." So, yeah, Tavernier fairly optimistic at this moment in time, and as stated, and as I keep on stating, I know I'm not part of the team, but of course, we do need to take it as a game at a time, and as I said, we've all had fun this weekend, but as stated, trophies aren't handed out in mid-February. It's still a very, very, very long way to go. We're only 2 points clear, whilst I do think the gap will sort of extend over the next coming weeks. We still need to concentrate, and we're going up against a really, really good side this week, actually, in Heart of Midlothian, or this weekend, against Heart of Midlothian, a side that are on a really, really good winning streak at this moment in time, and a side that have a bit of confidence, if you look from their support, that they could potentially finish second this season if Celtic were to drop more points as the campaign went on. But as stated, at Ibrox, you really do fancy us going into this one, and as stated, hopefully we can get all 3 points. But yeah, that's all I've really kind of got for you today, Rangers fans. As stated, Frank McAvenny meltdown, Michael Beale, of course, being sacked, and then James Tavernier discussing being top of the table. Let me know your thoughts on Frank McAvenny's words. Are we a good team, or is it simply that Celtic are bad? Let me know your thoughts, as stated, down in the comment section below. That brings us to the end of today's video. As always, please do smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. Thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Peace.